Hello everybody, welcome back. Today in this video I'm going to be talking about Rahu's transit over natal planets. So I've already made a video about Rahu's transit over Sun and Moon, over your natal Sun and Moon. In this video I'm going to be talking about Rahu's transit over natal Jupiter, Mars. Before I really start with the topic, let me explain this to those people who do not understand what I'm saying. We all have individual birth charts, and in our birth charts all the 9 planets including Rahu and Ketu are in specific zodiac signs. So those are the natal positions for those planets. In transit, planets are always moving, constantly they are moving, and they're constantly changing their zodiacs. Like for instance, the moon changes its zodiac after every 2 days. The third day moon changes its zodiac. Sun changes its zodiac after a month. Jupiter after a year. Rahu and Ketu change their zodiacs after an year and a half. So for the last year and a half they were in Gemini and Sagittarius. Now they're moving to Taurus and Scorpio. And since Rahu and Ketu move backwards, the other 7 planets naturally tend to move forward. Forward is the path of the sun. And but sometimes in our horoscopes, in our birth charts, there will be planets that will be in retrograde motion. So they're not following the path of the sun, they're following the path of Rahu and Ketu. To understand what I'm saying, you will have to watch my video on retrograde planets. I'm going to give the link of the playlist in the description below, as well as at the end of this video. So Rahu and Ketu are always moving backwards. They are the asuras, they are the demons amongst the planets, and the certain planets tend to take their path for whatever reasons. And so they're always going in the reverse. From Gemini, now they're going, Rahu will be going into Taurus. From Taurus it will be going into Aries. From Aries, Pisces. And whereas the rest of the planets always moving in the other way, in the regular count, from Aries, which is the first zodiac, to Taurus, which is the next sign, to Gemini, which is the third sign. So but Rahu and Ketu are 180 degrees apart, so they are on this specific axis for a year and a half. And in that axis, whatever planets are there in that particular house where Rahu is transiting, in your birth chart, whatever planet is there, that planet is your natal planet. It could be Sun, it could be Moon, it could be Mars, it could be any planet. So over your natal planet, if you are having the transit of Rahu, that is my topic for today. So your Rahu does not have to be conjunct that planet in the natal chart, but the transiting Rahu is going over the natal planet is what I am discussing. So let's suppose Rahu, whenever you're watching this video, Rahu could be entering any sign, any zodiac, but Mars is posited in that sign. For now, let's suppose your Mars is posited in Taurus. In future, if you're going to be watching this video, your Mars could be in Aries, it could be in Pisces, it could be in any zodiac. And Rahu in transit is going to go over that natal Mars. So what is Mars? Mars is your energy. Mars is your strength. Mars is the blood that runs in our veins. Mars is your aggression, your fighting spirit. That is why, depending on the dignity of Mars in your birth chart, is how you will utilize your energy. If Mars is in bad dignity, if it is afflicted, then sometimes we may just have our energy scattering everywhere, and we may not focus that energy properly in one direction. And if Mars is, let's suppose, in good dignity, if it is exalted, then you will be able to utilize your energy in a very, very focused manner. So that energy, Mars is fire. The element of Mars is fire. And it's a lot of energy. So that is why it exalts in Capricorn. It gets some earth, it gets some stability. Mars gets stability in Capricorn, and it gets structure. So depending on the dignity of Mars, and in Cancer it debilitates because the fire in water. So sometimes imagine in an ocean, when there is a oil leak, let's suppose there's a fire, then there is no control over that fire. Then it just scatters. It's difficult to control that fire. And similarly in our lives, then that fire gets scattered quite a bit. That energy gets scattered. But here now you have Rahu transiting over this Mars. So first of all, you will have to see the dignity of this Mars. If it is a good Mars, if it is a strong Mars, Rahu here is going to expand. Whichever planet Rahu transits over, it expands that thing for you. It makes that thing very important for you. Mars is land, property, competitiveness, your siblings. The natural significant of the third house is Mars. So for the softer things like your siblings, this is not a good indication. Let's suppose over your natal Mars you have Rahu transiting. Your siblings could go through certain health issues that may trouble them, that could be undiagnosed for a long time. It may not necessarily be something very big, but something that they are not able to understand why. For you personally, if Mars is very well posited, this is like a burst of energy, huge energy you will feel, huge aggressiveness. So if you are in some kind of a competition, if you are attempting some kind of a competition, this competition, especially if it's a physical competition, like an athlete, if you're in the army, the military, and if you're at war, then this is like huge. You got to feel very strong, very energetic, and a never say die kind of an attitude, and you got to beat your competitors. But here, this energy is also a mental energy. Both, actually it's on the physical side, but Mars is also your desire. So desire is always in the mind, first. So the desire is going to be very strong. Desire is going to be enhanced by Rahu, big time. Physical energy is going to be there, desire is going to be there, the will, the determination to do something is going to be really big. So especially if you're utilizing your energy very well, then this is an excellent transit for achievement, for success, for growth, for power positions, for competition, for beating competition. Your desire for land and property will increase. Generally your desires will be bigger. But if your Mars is in bad dignity in your birth chart, then this also shows, let's suppose this Mars is afflicted, depending on the zodiac, depending on the other planets that are aspecting or conjunct with it, and the dispositor. So let's suppose the Mars here is in bad dignity and Rahu goes over this natal Mars, then you are going to be very reckless. You are going to put in your action without thinking much. You are going to take such huge risks that there could be danger to your own self. There is danger of accidents here. There is danger of injury here. There is danger of sudden reactions, over aggression here. So this energy can be put to really good use by becoming very competitive, by feeling very energetic, for beating your competition, for beating any, beating your competition for, in case of a litigation, in case of some, footwork that you need to do. So in a litigation or a conflict, wherever there's some footwork, wherever there's some physical action that you need to get done, this is like excellent. But this will definitely, even if it's a well-placed Mars, the desire is going to be so much that it's going to propel you forward to take action without thinking too much. So that is also going to be there. So it's generally a good transit if you understand this energy, and if you are a little patient with whatever you have in mind and wherever you're going to put in your action, if you are a little thoughtful before doing something like that and you take the right decisions, then this is like excellent energy for growth. But it will definitely give you a bigger temper. There will be temper tantrums, there will be anger issues. There's too much of fire because Rahu is air, it's wind, it's windy, and Mars is fire. So imagine if there's a forest fire and the wind blows and the fire gets carried away very fast. That is the kind of a situation that this is. If that Mars energy has some earth to it, then it's a better condition. And if that Mars energy is not afflicted, then it's definitely a better situation. So now I'm going to be talking about Jupiter, natal Jupiter in your birth chart over your natal Jupiter, Rahu is now transiting. Let's suppose whichever zodiac sign your Jupiter is. But again, the zodiac sign is extremely important, whether your Jupiter is afflicted, whether your Jupiter, let's suppose you already have a Rahu Jupiter conjunction in your birth chart, then it's a very, very different Jupiter. It's a very practical Jupiter. It could be a very clever Jupiter. It could be, that's called a Guru Chandal Yoga. So Jupiter is wisdom, Jupiter is knowledge and wisdom. It's your guru, it's your teacher, it's your guidance. Whoever guides you is the Jupiter in your life. And having Rahu there, Rahu is the Chandal, Rahu is the Asura. He is not, it's not a Devta, it's a demon here that we're talking about. And it tends to afflict this Jupiter. Similarly, let's suppose now this Jupiter in your birth chart, let's suppose it's by itself and it's very strong. It's a good pure Jupiter with no afflictions, only friends like moon, and moon is or sun is aspecting this Jupiter, and it's a strong Jupiter. So your natural tendency towards knowledge and goodness and abundance, your feeling of joy is quite big, and here Rahu comes and expands this Jupiter. So this is going to be even more bigger now in this transit. You're going to feel more happier, much more confident. A feeling of abundance is going to be there. Jupiter is a significant of opportunity. Opportunity is going to be there for you. Jupiter is the significant of wealth, of the natural second house. Wealth is going to increase for you. You will receive knowledge, guidance from a guru that will benefit you. People will tend to give you good advice. That is one side of it, if Jupiter is well placed. See, both these planets are very, very expansive. They tend to expand wherever they are posited. So here also look at the house that Jupiter is in. That house gets very activated. Very, very expansive energy you have both in natal and in transit. If Jupiter is afflicted in your chart, then a fake guru, somebody who misguides you, misleads you, going for wealth through the wrong means, taking shortcuts, and yourself feeling that I don't need to listen to anybody. I am the best teacher. I give the best guidance. Whatever I say is correct. Here the Chandal is controlling the guru. So not listening to your father, breaking taboos, definitely breaking taboos. Jupiter is tradition. Jupiter is culture and values. Jupiter is natural significant of the 9th house in the second house, the values that your father has taught you. And Rahu is breaking boundaries. Rahu is going to break those boundaries for you. You will tend to break boundaries, break traditions, go beyond your culture. If you're traveling abroad, if you're meeting people who are from a different culture, not necessarily abroad, maybe in the same country, but in a different side of that country where the culture is completely different, maybe you get to learn a new language. Jupiter is language and Rahu is foreign. So a foreign language, a foreign culture. Jupiter is culture, Rahu is foreign. Money coming from foreign, Rahu is foreign, Jupiter is wealth. Foreign always doesn't mean abroad. Foreign means from a different culture. So you're in the north, you're in maybe North India, money is coming from South India, from East India. A language from East India, South India, wherever that you're picking up from. So depending on the dignity of Jupiter, this could be really bad advice. This could be breaking traditions and values, immorality, opportunity, which Rahu kind of an opportunity that is like an illusion. That is an illusion for you. That looks like something great, and it may just be like a puff of smoke. It just goes up later on into nothing. And on the other hand, if your Jupiter is very well placed, this could be really beautiful. This could be really good opportunities coming along your way. This could be really good advice. This could be definitely a feeling of joy and abundance that you get. You could definitely be on the way to increasing that wealth for yourself. And this could be also, children coming in. For those who want children, this could be children coming in. But otherwise, Jupiter is a significant of children. So for children, this transit may not be that good. For children, again, like I said, if your children are studying, if they're going to school, college, if they have important exams, they may be misled. they may be too much into, because Rahu is, you know, also the internet, they may be too much into internet and looking up games and playing video games and things like that. So you can see this transit both ways. The extremes, both of them are going to be felt depending on the dignity of the planet. So for this video, I'll end now. In the next video, I'm also going to be talking about Rahu's transit over natal Saturn, and then I'm also going to be doing Rahu's transit over natal Ketu, Rahu, Mercury and Venus. We'll see you in the next video.